Hello, welcome back to our first session for a while. We tried to do this a couple of weeks ago, but apparently it decided to not record the voices of any of the players, which is just swell, because last session was fucking hilarious. But yes, we are back. I am back to making videos. This time we are playing Warhammer Fantasy. The name of the campaign is Illegal Rites, which is not in any way a Terry Pratchett reference. And basically, where we left off last session is the party had engaged with some beastmen in their carriage, and after the fight was done, a entourage of horsemen approached, and it turns out a nearby witch hunter general has requested everybody get out of the carriage and to be interrogated one by one. So, um, yes, you've just been informed that you all have to get out. Z couldn't make it. Actually, I'll get you to reintroduce your character, sorry, because obviously last session didn't record properly. So I guess we'll start with Kit again. Oh, well,
Okay. No, let's start with Kit.
Okay, I guess I'll start with my character's name is Artur Zatur. He's a experienced traveling salesman that sells knickknacks and whatever he can find, like while he's wandering around. Really.
Yep.
Yep.
Okay. My name is Jackie. I am going to be playing Erdman Falk, a student lawyer who absolutely, I swear, has more self-preservation than Jonathan Harker in Dracula.
All right. Okay. All right. So, yeah, you've just been informed that you have to get off. Vladikor sort of looks at each of you and goes, "Well, this is a bit of a surprise. More eventful than I imagined it would be."
Yes, rather worrying, isn't it?
Indeed. I've had a little bit of a falling out with, let's just say, extrajudicial religious branches.
I see.
Well, I don't see any point in lollygagging any longer. We might as well get this over with. And he'll get up and squeeze past you and get out of the carriage.
Erdman's going to, get out as well, following the instructions we were given, leaving everything behind. He's going to have to leave the bow he had behind anyway, because that belonged to the people on the carriage. So, yeah.
Okay. And Kit, what's Atul gonna do?
I would like to make a formal protest, complaining that I can't just leave my knickknacks and wanna, like on whatever I have in my bag. I can't have them stolen. They're my livelihood.
He sighs, rubs his hand across his forehead, and goes, "They're still going to be here when you get back. Move along, citizen, please."
I'd like assurances, or whatever they want to call it.
He looks over at one of the other people who are with him, and she sort of looks back and just like walks up to you and then just punches you in the gut.
Oh,
And she just says, "Get the fuck out."
oh my god! Like, this is not the type of assurances I was asking for.
I would
But
sure if you get out, I won't just shoot you.
fuck. Alright. Seeing that I don't want to be shot, raise my hands, drop my stuff, in a safe pile, because and get out.
All right. You see in very record time, a small tent has been erected, basically in between all three of the coaches. The second coach seems to have been hired out entirely by one party, and then the first coach is sort of like yours, just like a ragtag group of people. The people you assumed last time looked like criminals. The lady there who was in purple seems to be off talking to the witch hunters off to the side.
You mean the one that the dwarf assumed must be a witch just because she was wearing purple?
Yes, that one.
Okay.
Yeah, so they're off to the side talking. And overseeing all of this, still on top of her horse, you see a lady who's if I can ping, that'd be nice. This lady who's all nice and big. Yeah, next to you guys. Boop. Her. Yeah, so I'm assuming you
You
guys
did
just.
give us her name.
Yes, I did. Hannah Schmidt.
Oh shit! Like,
What?
I know someone called Hannah Schmidt.
Okay. Good.
Just picture her for the rest of this session.
Uh,
So hang on, I will spell like that. Yeah, just put it in Discord. Yeah, so we are. So she's overseeing everybody, and yeah, basically, what do you guys do? Just form an orderly line as you're requested.
is there like only one line, or is there
Uh,
like multiple?
basically, you're all just like lining up outside the front of the the coach. So like back to the coach, just in a line, basically.
Yeah. How's the guard situation? Is there like a guard every corner, or?
Pretty much, yeah. You have the coachmen who are off onto one side. They're generally talking to one of the lower tiered witch hunters. You see some of the state's guards sort of uh, in like basically a squad is sort of in front of each of you.
Okay.
Erdman is going to comply to the best of his ability. Yeah.
Well, you did say he has better self-preservation than the guy from
I
Dracula.
did. Yes. That's not the reason, though.
Yeah. Yeah. So also interesting is Atio just following along, or is he gonna cause more of a scene?
I'll follow along, but like I'll mumble myself, like, you know, you're here. Like, I'll be complaining to your manager or whatever.
And the lady, both of the lady and the guy chuckle at that, and it's like, you'll meet her soon enough. And that the lady in purple is basically walks up to Hannah. you see her sort of tip her hat slightly, and then she pulls out what looks to be a. This is Hannah pulls out what looks to be like a long, iridescent crystal needle, and they basically go into the tent. And after about a minute, you hear a loud scream, like a very quick scream, and then about another minute after that, they both walk out, and the lady in purple's wiping the back of her neck, like rubbing it with her hand.
Is anyone freaked out about that, or like?
Well,
Like,
no, none of the witch hunters or states guards are freaked out, and the lady's entourage are basically lining up to go in as well. The second carriage is you look over. I don't know if you want. You look over. There's a man from Cathayan man who seems to be awfully agitated, and then next to him is an Arabian woman who does not seem to be phased at all. The rest of the entourage is in various states of panic.
okay.
Would I know what this was?
It would be a difficult. It'll be. Hang on. What law skills did you have? Sorry.
Law,
Yeah.
Reichland, and theology.
It wouldn't be any of those. It would have to be some form of arcana test. So
Okay.
it would be raw intelligence plus with a that would be difficult. So minus is that minus 40, I believe. So
Okay.
do you even have enough intelligence to do it? I don't know. Oh, you would have to get a 1 to do it.
Mine does not appear to have a difficult on it. It only goes up to very hard.
Oh, it'd be very hard then, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let's have a go at that.
You might as well. Nah, you have no idea.
Fair enough.
Yeah, and the Cathayan man goes up and talks to one of the witch hunters, and then he sort of after the lady in purple's entourage is done, he walks up and talks to the Hannah lady, and he hands over basically like what looks like very official documents. That it's like a big, looks almost like a book with like a massive jade like seal on the front of it. He like cuts his hand and runs the blood along the front and opens up, and then she like reads through it, and then basically nods at him and then hands it back, and he heads back, and then the Arabian, it's not Arabian, it's Arabian, because there's changed the spelling slightly, so people don't figure out what it is. She walks up and hands also a little less official looking document, but she hands it over. Hannah sort of looks it over, puts a stamp on it, and sends them back. And then they all load back in their coach without doing this stabby test. And the entire first carriage, they basically all go through, and it leads you guys to be lucky last. Zerdin Barehand, the Z's character, goes up first. You see him briefly talking to her, and she she just waves him along, and yeah, and then which one of you two wants to go first?
Well, I imagine I would be first in the line because I got
Probably, yeah.
I'd be before Arthur in the line because I got off first. So
yeah,
that
that
makes
makes sense. Yep, moving a line. Yep. Oh, so yeah, Vladiko will go before you. He goes into the tent. You hear him scream. Comes out and he's rubbing the back of his neck, and he sort of gives you like the good luck nod. And yeah, you approach Hannah, and she looks at you and she just goes, "All right, well, like, we have just a very simple test here. Nothing to be too concerned about unless you have any magical ability. If you do so, let us know now. It will save us a lot
None
of time."
whatsoever, but willing to help in any way I can.
Good, that's what I expect from any faithful citizen of the Reichland. Well, we'll go on here. Sorry to inform you that this will be extremely painful, but it will be over quickly. And she has like just like a sort of like a plain but rather nice cushioned chair, sort of sitting in the room, and she just asks you to sit in it.
Yeah.
Yep. All right. And she just says, "Okay, take a deep breath in, and then exhale when I say so."
Yeah.
And
He's gonna try and do that.
follow. And as she says exhale, you feel a incredibly sharp pain in the back of your neck, as though something's being quite literally stabbed in through your spine up into your skull. Give me a cool test.
Okay. Any modifiers on that?
It will just be what is it? Um, it'll be the one that gives you plus 20. The routine.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
See how he does.
Hey, impressive success. You don't even let us
Excellent.
scream. You just go, and you just you just exhale as she said, and you just do nothing. And she pulls it out, and she's like, "Well, that's the best response I've seen all day to that. Well, you may carry on. You are fine."
I will sort of give her a respectful little bow and leave her to her entirely legal duties.
Yeah. All right. Atua, she calls you forward. Again, asks for your name and gives you a brief rundown.
Yep.
I'm assuming you comply.
Yep.
Yeah, you have no magical abilities.
Not that I know of.
Okay. Okay. She leads you into the
Rapidly
room.
check your character sheet.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh
Well,
no, the
any
DM's
magical
got one
ability
on
or
there while we weren't
yeah,
looking.
either that or any like corruption or anything that would all show. But yeah, same thing. Give me a cool test routine.
Right. Routine cool test. Wait. That's average, right?
No routine plus 20. Or is it equal
That is.
average? Yeah, if the one that's plus 20, yeah, if it's called average, do that then. Yeah, whatever it is. Oh, yeah.
Marginal.
I was just success. You scream. It hurts like a motherfucker. As I said, it literally feels like you're just getting you are quite literally having a needle shoved into your spine and up into the base of your skull. It hurts like hell. But you don't move in a way that is not good for your health.
Okay.
All right. And with that, you all funnel out, go back into the back into your coach, and the coachman are sort of getting everything ready again. And then after around actually, what do you guys want to do while you wait for them all to get ready? You just all just.
Well, what's the like camping like? Like, is it just like a tent?
It's
Thing,
literally just at the moment. It's just a single tent. They literally just put it up really quickly. Obviously, they plan on getting you back on the road very as soon as possible. But yeah, it was supposed to be just.
I'd like to chat up one of the guards.
So what's that?
Just a point of order, I guess. I
Yes.
thought that we'd stopped shortly outside, like very close outside the
You're
town that we were traveling to.
close. You're close, but
Yeah.
you're not there yet.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. It's like close as in you're starting to exit the forest and it's turned into some farmlands.
Mm,
But and you
Okay.
can see the town off in the distance, but you're not there yet.
yeah.
Oh, okay.
It's like on that precipice of where it's going from wilderness to
Yeah.
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 So they still want to get you out because there's still risks of
Yeah.
shit
Yeah.
appearing.
Of course, that makes
I'd like
sense.
to talk to a guard.
The coachman or a state's guard?
A state's guard. State's guard.
Okay, you go talk. You go up to a state officer. What are you going to say?
Do they have like an equivalent to like a cigarette in this like
Yeah,
world?
just it would be just like a pipe of tobacco.
Yeah, I'm just gonna like approach him and does he have uh like I don't like I was gonna say ask for some tobacco if he has any.
Yeah. If you want some smoke,
Yeah.
he sort of looks at you and he goes, "Oh, He pulls out like his ration and he just like snaps off pulls out a small bit from his bundle and just like passes it over to you.
Yeah. I'll give him like one of my coins, which I
Yep,
have.
you give him a brass one of the brass
Yeah, brass.
pennies.
Yeah.
Yep.
Thank him. I'm gonna try to ask him how long have you set up this checkpoint?
Not very long. Literally, it's only been a few hours, really. It's
Oh, wow, okay.
last night there was a bit of a you'll learn soon enough, bit of a catastrophe, to put it mildly, and fortunately, Hannah was here. Well, she was on her way here anyway, and she was able to quickly whip up her quarantine to figure out what the fuck is going on. Some magical nonsense, probably related to the stuff that was happening in the colleges, I assume.
Ooh, what kind of stuff? Like, what?
You
How?
know, give me a law Reichland or
I was gonna
or
say gossip.
so. What were you wanting?
I was gonna use gossip, just to
Oh
needle
yeah,
him for
yeah.
more gossip.
I mean, this would be before we do this, it would be if you know what's going on with the colleges, there'll just be a law Reichland
Okay, I'll do
average.
Reckling.
Yeah.
Average.
This is just so before you even ask questions, if you just know.
Yeah. Ooh, I'd like
No.
to use one of my fate points for this.
Yeah. Okay. Go for it.
Alright. Try not to I should be using them a lot since.
Yeah. No, fair enough. Go for it. Roll away. Re-roll.
Come on. No, apparently not. I don't know.
Nah. Marginal failure. You remember something? Hearing something. What it was exactly? You know, it was something to do with something to do with chaos. A cult or
Okay.
something like that, but you can't remember the exact details of it.
Yeah, it's some sort of wizard college. That's all I know, I
Yeah,
guess.
it's the Wizards College. Something had a chaos cult. You can't remember the
Okay.
exact details.
Alright. I guess time to roll my gossip.
Yeah. All right.
There we go.
Oh, okay. Yeah. You sit there just making small talk with this guy for a while, and he basically informs you that there was a wild spell was cast in the middle of the night, destroying half the noble district, and then crossing the river and doing severe damage to the a lot of the infrastructure for the whole city. Um, Hannah believes that it was related to the Supreme Patriarch was it Ermin Horst, I believe his name was. Yeah, Ermin Horst, who was the Supreme Patriarch of the College of Magic, who was turned out to be a Tzeentchian cultist. So they think it may have something to do with that.
Oh, yeah, that's some good gossip.
Sorry, my laptop just like very abruptly and suddenly crashed.
Oh,
Can
okay.
we go back a couple of steps? I'm just gonna try and see if my notes can be recovered.
Oh, okay.
So I can tell you where I was.
Yeah. Go tell us where you were. Yep.
Give me a second. Okay.
No
So that didn't actually save it relatively recently. Which is unfortunate. I know Artur. Oh shit, that's actually I've lost quite a bit. Okay. Artur had got out of the carriage and was gossiping with one of the coachmen.
Yes, I know. State's Trooper.
One of the
Sorry, State Street. So yeah, what did I miss? Sorry.
So he apparently in the middle of the night a wild magic spell appeared, destroyed a good section of the castle and the noble district, crossed the river and destroyed a bunch of the city's infrastructure. Hannah was en route to the town anyway, and she was able to basically lock down the city to try and figure out what's happening. She is currently going off. Well, it's currently believed she's going off the hypothesis that is to do with the recent Supreme Patriarch of the Colleges of Magic, who was found out to be a Tzeentchian chaos cultist and fled Aldorf.
Yeah. Okay. I'll try. Give me a second to catch up on the notes.
Yeah, no, it's no problem. I'll let you write it. It's all good. I'll just cut this stuff out in post. So.
Yeah. A section of the castle and the noble district.
Yeah.
Did they say anyone was hurt, or was it mostly
Oh yeah,
infrastructure?
lots of deaths. Casualties still unknown. Injuries a lot. They've basically set up triage. They're they're literally it's only happened a few hours ago. They're still sorting out the details of the casualties.
Yep. Okay. So the last thing I had in my notes was the Lady in Purple's entourage.
Ooh.
So
Okay, that's a while ago. Yeah.
Give me a moment to just catch that up.
Yeah.
Yeah. While you do that, I'm just going to get some water.
Okay.
So how have you been, Kit, anyway?
I'd say I'm pretty alright. Like recently got into this like Call of Cthulhu like thing.
Oh, yeah. Just a live play?
Yeah. Oh yeah, live play.
Yeah, yeah.
It was quite amazing. It's like because they were doing Baskov Nyarlathotep.
Oh, yeah. Ah, yes, yes, yeah,
Yeah.
now.
Oh,
Yeah, I know that one.
yeah. I was like, oh man, like they just finished well what they call season one, but they just ended the America New York part.
Yeah.
And like for one whole day, like the characters just spent a whole day clothes shopping. I was like, like oh man, it was quite
That's
hilarious. Like spent a whole day clothes shopping.
that's actually
And
awesome
then,
for just like having a Call of Cthulhu game of all the game types it could be.
then the next day, they literally have to like go around like you
It's one way
know,
to hide from the horrors.
Yeah, yeah.
uh,
Did
yeah,
they at least gain some sanity back from that?
no, and it might have ended up getting a couple of key people killed.
Okay. Yeah.
Like, it was, oh man, it was quite a thing. I was like, then the next day they were like, they had to like, they spent a whole morning looking for a high class hotel because they just got, I wouldn't say kicked out, but they just got kicked out of like one. So they were like they had to like walk around whole of New York looking for a hotel that was high class enough for them to like stay in.
Yeah.
It was quite
Yeah.
hilarious.
Oh,
Uh,
that does sound pretty funny. Yeah. Now I've been
yeah.
doing pretty good recently. I don't think I posted a main, but on Tuesday that girl Astro I was talking to, she basically said she couldn't do the date on Sunday and that she didn't feel she was ready to date, and then she
I
unmatched
know.
me. So I was
Oh,
very upset all Tuesday.
oh,
But then I just got back into it, and now I'm talking to two girls, who both of them are polyamorous. So I may just end up being in a polycule, which sounds pretty fun to be honest. I am actually very much looking forward to meeting both of them at some point. They both seem pretty interesting. One of them is currently married to a trans dude, and they basically both came out at the same time. So it's quite literally the whole meme of, you know, where they're basically driving past and it's like, I'm on the way to go tell them that I'm a trans woman. They're on the way to tell me that they're a trans man. And they're just like, okay, cool, wardrobe swap and everything. And I'm like, that's pretty fucking cute, to be honest. And then, yeah, the other, they live down in Wellington. And they seem very nice and all that anyway. And then, they also started transitioning the same time as me. I think like a week after I started HRT, they started. So yeah, so that's nice. And then the other person I'm talking to, they live up in Palmy. They have every single hobby under the sun. Uh, so they read, they play Magic the Gathering, they play Warhammer 40k, they play like 5 different sports.
right.
All of it. Yeah, so they have every hobby possible because they have very bad ADHD, and I'm like, yep, that tracks. Um, and yeah, they also seem absolutely lovely. And yeah, they yeah, and so yeah, that's how I've been. And so I'm trying to sort out sometimes some weekends that we possibly have off at the same time. So
Mm.
yeah, um, quite the twist, to be honest, but a welcome one, I think. Yeah.
Okay, I am caught
Oh,
up. And I did a quick virus scan just in case. I have no idea what caused that. It was real sudden and real unexpected, but
Okay.
ah, probably
Yeah. No.
just Windows being Windows.
Yeah.
yeah.
All right.
Oh, sorry, just because I've just realized I haven't opened Roll20 again yet, so let me
Okay.
just do that.
Yeah. No
Yep.
problem.
Um,
Uh,
Oh, yeah, and I got a really cute dress today. And
ah,
uh, You'll be able to see on my Instagram if you just go there. Yeah.
I don't use Instagram.
Yeah, I mean you can just go and see my account. It's the latest pictures anyway.
Okay.
Yeah, it's hang
Okay,
on.
I am ready to roll.
Excellent.
All
Okay,
right.
let's get started again. Yeah,
Yep, that's allowed to cut out later in the
yeah,
cutting
it is.
board.
I'm
I'll have to
sorry.
sit there for a little while, but that's all right. Um, yeah, so as I just said that, yeah, so you're just talking to. Okay, I don't need to re-go over. Hang on, okay, I don't need to re-go over the information I just gave. Yeah, how
Mm.
do you take said information?
I'm gonna like once we're back together, I'll be like, I'll try to like nudge Erdwin, like asking him if he's like, because I remember that he's going to some college for some reason. I'm gonna ask him if he's heard of the whole place blowing up. Like,
Well, I guess that would be a roll on my part, right?
Yes. So obviously you wouldn't know anything about this place blowing up, but colleges of magic. Is there like an easier one than routine, like a +40, since you would have been in Aldorf when this all went down? Actually,
there's
you
only
um
so there's average,
Is
very
it?
easy, which is +60, easy, which is +40.
okay,
Yeah.
go do an easy then, since you would have if you weren't in Aldorf, you'd have been close to Aldorf.
Is this Reichland law, just to be clear?
Reichland law, yep, yep. Aldorf is the
Right.
capital of Reichland, yeah.
Or ooh, nice. Damn, astounding.
I cannot see my roll.
You got 15. Astonishing success +7. So you got seven.
Excellent. Thank you.
Like you're there for like the entire thing going down. So it started off with basically the witch hunters, a whole group of the higher ups for the witch hunters, basically appeared because I think it was shit. I have to remember the actual. Um, well, they suspected shit was going down. The emperor, uh, Karl Franz, called them in personally, and they were able to root out the Azentian cult. At first, they thought it was like just the low levels, but as they were essentially hiring the light wizards to help them, since light wizards are very good at dealing with chaos, it became clear that they were being sabotaged. And over the course of a couple of months, it turns out that the Supreme Patriarch of the colleges was in fact in charge of said cult. Um, the colleges of themselves have taken a massive reputation hit, and specifically the College of Light, as they are very known for being against chaos and um, the undead. The Supreme Patriarch was originally from the College of Light, so they got particularly fucked over with it. And after a battle ensued where demons were literally summoned into the city, um,
Jeez.
yeah, a good section of the city was destroyed, but Ermund Horst, who managed to flee down the river, and the witch hunters were meant to be hot on his trail.
Okay, so yeah, I will relay that. I think Erdman would also sort of add this sense of like that it was quite frightening being in the city at that point. Um, and would also probably add some things that Arto might find a little bit boring about like um how it had changed some of the ways that they were being taught law as some of the like the masters that were teaching were sort of debating the implications of various different things in the light of ongoing events and that kind of stuff.
Yeah, you probably had like a good like half the semester lost because they were you
Yeah.
would have had like state troopers shut down the universities and stuff because
Mm,
uh, the university is like right next to the colleges of magic, so you would have been like
yeah.
looking across the river, and you would be like looking at the colleges, and you would have like literally seen all the shit going down. Like the sky would have been an absolute light show. You may have even seen a demon
Mm,
here and there.
yeah. So yeah, just full gory details. Artur has asked me a thing I know, and I'm just not going to stop talking. Um,
Yeah,
I'm guessing that because I'd be going into like all the details of like oh you would look across the river and you would see this and you'd see explosions and I'm pretty sure I saw a demon in the streets at one point and all this sort of stuff. Um, Given that we're probably still sitting quite next to poor Mr. Miradov,
Yeah,
um, I imagine that this may be making an impression.
yeah. Um, yeah. He sort of like nods along to the whole conversation. And he's like,
Mm,
and eventually at some point when you're talking about, he starts talking about times he was in the city of Prague, and
mm.
that there were when a demon, when a chaos host appeared, and then he starts like cross-referencing your story with his story. Oh,
Oh,
oh.
cool.
So then you both basically start. Uh, you're probably more enthusiastic, where he's more like
Yeah,
analytical, but you're still basically just
yeah,
sharing like details.
yeah.
And he's like still like trying to work out like what type of demon you saw and stuff. Um, and he comes to the conclusion that you probably saw a pink horror of Zinch. Um,
Yeah.
yep. uh,
Fascinating. It really it's an area of the law that I feel like I missed a vital part of my education on. But I suppose one would prefer not to have that education be first hand.
he chuckles at that and he goes, "Well, it's probably more so because that's something that wouldn't really be covered by the law, other than highly fucking illegal."
Indeed. But it does help to recognize when something, air quotes, highly fucking illegal is occurring.
He sort of shrugs. It's like, well, it's sort of like debating whether or not the man stabbing people in the streets is illegal or not. It's kind of
Yeah.
obvious.
Uh, yes. Yeah, I think Erdman would probably make a joke about not prejudging clients, but
Yeah.
hmm.
All right. Um. Yeah. So after, so you're probably out there for probably like 5 or so minutes. Was there anything that you were doing, Erdman, when you're in the
no, not really. I was like, I mean, I guess I'll
uh,
be listening to the his story. You listen.
I'm
yeah,
also talking while you were out getting the rumors. What was
I
Oh,
Erdman
think
doing?
I was like, oh wait, I'm not Ruben.
I
Yeah.
think I think while Arthur's out, I would be observing the rest of the carriage and just trying to pick up on whether there's any like, oh, well, I guess eavesdropping a little and trying to pick up on whether there's any interesting conversations going on, getting a sense of how people are responding to all of this. If there's anyone who knows more than I do or seems like they're particularly unsettled, that kind of thing. Like a
So
general sense.
yeah. So the table that was in between you and the lady in purple, they
Mm,
are quite freaked out. They do seem to be pretty run-of-the-mill civilian types.
mm,
So they're freaked out. Um, they want to know what's going on. They're worried. They probably have heard something about maybe what's going on in the town, and they're just worried. They hope that the witch hunter can find the one responsible for whatever the hell's going on. Um, the lady in purple and her two compatriots, they are very calm. Like they are just sort of sitting there, just drinking some wine, acting almost like absolutely nothing out of the ordinary happened.
Hmm.
Yeah, so and I'll say after around quarter of an hour, the carriage is ready to roll again, and it does so, and it arrives. Takes about another hour for it to arrive in the city, and you notice instead of stopping at the regular coach stop, which is like just outside the city walls, you roll all the way up to the remainder of the castle. So as you're sort of approaching the front end of the city, and everything's like that sort of ordered chaos that you get with like disasters, where you get like the people who are like organizing the triage and all of that.
Yeah.
They're sorting through all the bodies. They're sort of lying in the street with white sheets over them. There you see the sort of nuns and sort of various religious orders. Most of the religious orders are dedicated to more, which you expect from sort of funeral processions,
Yeah.
since he's the god of the dead. And then obviously you have like the Alkalites of Sigma and stuff, who are like offering sort
Yeah.
of like guidance to the still living. They're taking people through to identify bodies and so on and so forth. Very somber atmosphere, as you could imagine. And then you get past all of that to the part of the city that was destroyed. So it's sort of very sudden. You go through like a makeshift barricade, and then you see like a clean, like almost like sphere is like cut like a hole and like taken out like half a building, and then it's gone through like the building next to it, and it's like taken out like half, and then it's like veered off, and it's taken off like, so it's like, yeah, so it's taken off like kind of like a crescent shape in like another building, and then you look across, and like the entire like noble district is basically fucked. You see some buildings that still like had enough support from whatever went flying around here.
Yeah.
Basically punching things. Other type buildings sort of lost all the or too much support, and they like collapse. You see collapse palaces, sort of like expensive manors, and then you cross the Temple of Moor has uh, basically actually come out of this almost entirely undamaged. The other temples of some of the minor gods and Sigma actually received some minor damage, but the temple walls were largely fine, which is surprising because that was right next to the castle, which is the central keep, which is basically missing its entire front. They've built a quick sort of wooden very quick wooden fortification. You see the construction work it's currently ongoing, and the coaches pull up to the front of the courtyard, and you basically all told to get out once again. This time you can bring your stuff, and you'll be meeting in the secondary hall because that one still exists.
I think I want to get a general sense if there's anything you haven't mentioned that strikes me as unusual while we're passing through the city and looking out of the windows at all this.
Okay. Okay. Oh yeah, things I mentioned. Every so often you'll see like sort of like purple fire, sort of like will-o-wisp type things sort of emerge from the wake of whatever the spell that was unleashed and went wild. And let's see, that's something. There's a general, like, there was a somber atmosphere, like, when you enter the city. Now it's, like, almost impressively, like, depressing.
Yeah.
And you don't know if it's just because everything's been destroyed or if it's the sort of residue effects of said magic.
Mm. Okay. Yeah, thank you.
No problem. Is there any tests you want to do for anything else, or
I
you're good
don't
off
think
there?
so, because I don't think there's anything that I'm not sure there's anything he could
Yeah,
do.
it would be like you'd have to know stuff about magic, which you
Yeah.
don't. So yeah. All right. What about Alter? Is he got anything he wants to try and observe?
Um, hmm, not really. He's just like taking in the sights.
All right.
Because I would imagine he's not really one of those that goes into the city. Like he just walks like the back roads, selling from town to town. So this is like one of the rare times he gets to be inside the city.
Yeah. Yeah. You know, it's all the same basic stuff. Yeah, kind of depressing, but yeah, and then when you get to the part that has been destroyed, that level of oppression in the air sort of grows. Yeah, and as you approach the castle, so after you get to the castle, it stops, and you're all ordered to get out. This time, you are allowed to bring your things.
Mm.
Yeah, the witch hunters lead you through to the secondary hallway. And after around probably another quarter of an hour waiting, Hannah will walk in, and a couple of old serving staff will sort of come in behind her with basically just some loaves of bread and some watered down wine.
Mm.
And you'll basically all be offered some food and so on. And the Cathayan man and the Araby woman are sitting across from you lot. And it seems to be just like you've basically broken down into almost smaller groups. Conveniently,
Mm.
your main four are together.
Mm.
And she looks at you, everybody assembled, and says, "Right, so as you could see, I am dealing with a lot right now, and I need to find out who was responsible for this, and you all are going to help me. And I will end the session there."
Okay.